Hi, everybody. I am Holly Celiano, and I have my guest back, Mr. X. And the reason he's coming back again so soon is there is a lot of information he did not disclose last podcast I did with him. And he was told to go out there and share what he has, give the big guns, and let's just put this information out there. So he's back again. Again, love him or hate him, he's not everybody's cup of tea. And I've had many people say, can you please tell him not to swear so much? So, Mr. X, don't swear so much, but welcome to the show.
Welcome, Holly. Just thought I'd drop by for more cocktails this time.
Okay, good. We're doing
And
the bloody shit show cocktails. We should
yes,
make
yes.
those.
And for those of you who don't want me to cuss as much, well, I'm not going to guarantee you shit. Okay, people?
Nope, you just did it.
It's like it is.
That you do.
Because there's not enough people like me out there pissed off enough to start letting her rip. Because there is so much insanity going on right now out there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. I agree. And people, a lot of my audience do love you because you just say it the way it is. You say what they feel, they're thinking, but they don't have a voice to go and put this out there, and you just call it the way it is. So I'll turn it over to you, and you can share what it is you want to come back and share with everybody.
Well, to those people who think you don't have a platform, I beg to differ. You have a platform. You live in a town, you live in a city, you have people around you. Just speak up to them. Every time you get a chance, try to red pill them, because chances are they're probably woke. And at this stage of the game, it's absurdity that they're still woke.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking about it, I've said with you, Holly, we've been in the shit show for 10 years. No, I'm retracting that. I'm going back to the eight years under Obama. All this shit started under his watch in the first term, and it continued on for 2 terms. So add his 8 to the 10. So we've been at this shit show for 18 years.
Well,
We've set a record.
doesn't it even go back farther when Bill Clinton signed into law NESRA? I mean, doesn't it go back to then because it's been stopped from that point on?
Well, yes. If you're putting NESRA as a subject matter, yes, it goes back in to '93 with Bill Clinton. Yes,
Right.
but all the other stuff, the child trafficking, the child rape, the killing of babies for blood, hot dogs at the White House for 60 grand just to bring in a bunch of boys so they can get raped by a bunch of old perverted men a couple floors down at the White House under Obama. You know, that is grade number 1 sick.
It is beyond sick. They do not deserve to live doing that to children.
They don't.
Mm-mm.
Some footers involved in this thing, you're just going to slap them on the hands and ask them, please don't rape these little boys anymore.
No.
No, they need to be shot in the head in front of a concrete wall.
There is no room for any child abuse at all. Any type of it. It is the most heinous crime that you could do in my book. I just can't even, it turns my stomach.
You take a young life and you destroy it.
Yep.
Psychologically, physically, and emotionally.
Yep.
And whoever does that to small kids or children, they need to be shot in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Point blank. Don't pass go. You don't even need a court case. Someone's got the evidence that you've done that to a child. You don't need to be brought into a damn court and gone through a stupid trial over that. That's the most heinous thing you can do to a young child's life, is to fuck it up like that.
Yeah, it does. I have firsthand knowledge of this because I don't know if I ever shared this with you, but my two brothers were raped by their Boy Scout leaders, and it destroyed their lives. And they've never been the same. My one brother drank himself to death because he could never live with what happened to him. And my other brother wound up killing his Boy Scout leader, went to prison for it, and he's out. Now he talks about this openly. He's written a book, and he is an advocate for people that have been abused, children that have been abused. So he's turned his life around, but I have seen it firsthand what this does to children.
Well, see, in the present court system that we have, which is beyond fucked up, with this bar clown bullshit, he shouldn't even have been spent one day in prison over that. That was justice, what he did. I don't care how you look at it. You know, I don't care if you folks believe in this OSAS crap or not, but that person does not spend one day in heaven for that. What he did to that young boy.
Yeah.
It's pass go. Do not collect $200. Straight to hell, man. Burn forever in hell.
Yeah.
If we had more people who got as pissed off as I do about certain subject matter, we wouldn't be sitting where we are now. We got people here in the background on a RV rollout, putting every stop out there to stop the people from getting the funds. You know, this is insanity. When are people going to start being put in front of concrete walls and shot? That's the only way you stop it. On Sunday, I was having a talk with a guy, and he is woke as woke can be. He claims that these planes up there giving off chemtrails are not giving off chemtrails. I said, you got to be kidding me. They're putting up patterns up there. Those aren't normal flight path patterns. Oh, yes, they are. They would not do that to us. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Some people have a really hard time believing our government would go and harm us with chemicals. Like they can't believe that they would do that.
Yep. He even told me that he believed that we went to the moon last week or the week before.
Hello, it is AI Chris here. Have you heard of the Great Wealth Transfer, and are you ready for it? Some are positioning themselves by collecting physical currencies tied to major economic events such as the Iraq Dina, Vietnamese Dawn, and the Zimbabwean bond notes. It's not about hype, it's about positioning yourself right. If you're curious, check the link in the description.
It's like, you've got to be kidding me, man. Like I said years ago, these people who are woke are not going to wake up. We shouldn't be dragging this thing, kicking the can down the road, waiting for these people to wake up. Build your mental hospitals and have them ready to start putting these fools in the hospital. Because
that's what Trump talked about.
Yeah, I know, but we haven't heard shit about it for months now. You know, tell us you're breaking ground on it. Hell, it's a construction project. I mean, I don't know what Trump in a mask we have out there right now.
Right.
We know we got deep state Trump in a mask. We're supposed to have so-called white hat Trump in a mask out there, but all these stupid podcasters out there thinking we got the real Trump here now. And I shake my head and go, are they watching the same idiocy that I'm seeing him do? If that's the real Trump, hell, we don't want him. Take him off the board. Bring in Patton Jr. and JFK Jr. for God's sakes.
Right.
I mean, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
What people are watching out there, but they stand by Trump like he's going to be the savior and king.
Well, the
You really,
problem is, and I had this conversation with somebody later today, that the whole movement put people in a place of complacency because it was trust the plan. So they didn't do anything because they were trusting that there was a plan in place. And everybody just became complacent. So it's kind of done the opposite, even though it did have you deep dive into a lot of these rabbit holes. They just trusted that somebody's going to clean up the mess and we don't have to do anything.
yeah. Well, not only did the Q deal cause that with some people, it's also caused division amongst people who originally started with this Q. Because like I said in past shows, when Q first came out in 17, man, we were thinking, man, end of the first term, all this Q stuff's going to be done, and we're going to get our country back, and we're going to be a republic back, and Nestor is coming out, and the RV rolled out, and all the bad deep state go to prison. But they're not showing us that's the case.
Right.
They're dropping little hints through these stupid fucking memes that was the case, but there's nothing substantial proof that happened with the Q movement. And people like me who see it as, you got all these people out there saying, oh yeah, they're Q, they're Q, they're Q. But when they go to that one Q post, if you make money and profit off this movement, you're not a patriot. They bypass that like Hebrews 10:26 in the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
Those people will overlook that verse just like that Q post.
Right.
I mean, you got to ask yourself, like, Q has to have been.
Oh, I believe so. Yeah. Remember when 8chan was got hacked and they put it on 4chan? That's when everything shifted. So I believe they definitely were hacked.
Well, now correct me if I'm wrong. Was it not on 4chan and they went to 8chan?
Maybe that's what it was. Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's one of them, but yeah.
Yeah. Seems like 100 years since that thing started.
Right.
It's ridiculous.
All right. So we've gone and digressed a lot. So I know you had information that you wanted to share that you didn't share the last show. And so why don't you go to some of your talking points that you wanted to hit on?
Okay. I want this show named Israel and the Mossad.
Okay.
Some people out there, and sorry, I don't care. Whatever the truth is, you just be okay with it, and don't make your snide comment in the comments, because I know a lot of you are, because you show what you really like. But what if I were to tell you that Bibi Netanyahu is not a Jew? Bibi Netanyahu grew up in the state of Pennsylvania in this country.
All right. Yep. I've read that.
Netanyahu went to high school in this country in the state of Pennsylvania.
Mm-hmm.
Why does it seem like a lot of these deep state actors come out of Pennsylvania? Why is that? And why all the deception with him, and then put him in charge of the Rothschilds Israel that they started in 1948?
So what is it about Pennsylvania then? Where these people come from? Do you know? Oh, okay.
No.
Okay.
But he's followed, I don't know if he's followed me, but he's found me on social media over the last 6, 7, 8 years, and he lives in Pennsylvania. And this guy, and this, I cannot figure out if this guy is -48, guano saving, or someone deep undercover within movie 2. You know, he uses all this gematria number shit that I don't like, just like -48 does or did. But he's in Pennsylvania. You know, I've driven, I've flown into Pennsylvania. It's like, what is it about that state? I don't get it. I mean,
I don't know.
It's crazy. I haven't figured that out, but I'm working on it.
Okay.
But if you look at everything within our country, and Holly uses the word infiltration a lot, if you look at every facet of this country, I'm talking Freemasons, I'm talking Mormons, I'm talking the Vatican, I'm talking our court systems, our cops, our judges, everything has been infiltrated by Israel, some form or fashion.
Mm-hmm.
But what also comes with that is that ugly entity of Mossad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm still so pissed off at that Trump in a mask. He had to have been a black hat who thought he was saving TikTok, and he brought in that Jew buddy of his, Oracle. You know, they brought in Mossad. That site is so pathetic. For the last 3 weeks, I've been back on there, and every word I put out there or a comment on someone else's post, bam, strike, boom, within milliseconds. It's like, you got to be kidding me. I mean, it is rampant. The Mossad are so into censorship, anything about Israel. Mm-hmm. And then we hear all these laws. You say anything about Israel, we're going to come after you. You know, you can't say anything about Israel. People in this country need to wake up. Israel's not our friends. I've been saying it for a long time. They've infiltrated everything in this country. They even infiltrated the White House. You know, they've already got everybody in Congress blackmailed through that AIPAC stupid Israel funding machine that everyone uses. Everyone's been corrupted through some Jewish BS somewhere along the line. They have infiltrated and they've held our country hostage all this time.
So I just want to state one thing, that it's not the people of the country. It is the Mossad agents and the government people that we're talking about.
So don't get offended and wear your emotions on your sleeve, people. I'm looking at the big picture. You don't personalize it and make it about you, for fuck's sakes. I'm bringing you something to keep your eyes open and understand what the problems are that we have in this country. Then you got that Jared Kushner. You know, some claim he's the Antichrist because he wants to push this Zionist thing where they want to start World War III and bring in the Antichrist. Well, I got news for you. Half the people all the people who want to bring in the Third World War and usher in the Antichrist, they are not going to heaven at all. They're all going to hell. You can't artificially bring that on and expect you to be in nirvana for the rest of your life. That's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So, and that stupid thing that Israel always says, we are supposed to serve and die for Israel because they consider us goyim, you know, dumb sheep. Mm-hmm. You know, what other religion out there tells the rest of the world that if you're not a Jew, you're supposed to live and die for Israel. You're supposed to live and die for us. You're supposed to serve us. I don't know of any other. You know, Muslims, they kind of do the same thing, but not to that radical degree in that stupid Talmud, the
Well,
unholy book.
there are a lot of these religions that are very extreme, and it's kind of a little warped with what they believe and practice, and then expect the rest of the world to be on the same page.
Well, Jason Q has been telling us for years about and warning us about the Jew and Israel and the infiltration within this country.
Mhm.
And he's taken a lot of heat over the years because it's that one subject matter that offends everybody. But he's been putting it out there, digging deep into rabbit holes and uncovering everything Israel. And it's not good. And you name me another race who's been kicked out of every country that they've ever been in.
Have they really? They've been kicked out of every country? Wow.
Someone came up with a number of 107,
Wow.
like 107.
Wow.
You know, there's something to his name too. Is it an Israel connection?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Everything's so convoluted nowadays. You can't really nail anything down.
All right. So what else do you have to talk about?
Well, let's talk about the little uh, little queers and Zelensky over there in Ukraine.
Okay.
That guy has had pictures taken of him in New York City when he was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
And then the deep state, fucking Rothschild, set him up to run that stupid country over there. And that little fool has addressed Congress just like Netanyahu. It's like, why do we let these people in our buildings? They contaminate it when they're in a building. And how many people during that stupid Ukraine war jump on the side of Ukraine, jump on the deep state side? You know, it's fucking mind blowing how dumb we are in this country. We support the wrong people all the time.
But don't you think a lot of that are people that are paid to do this?
To initially deceive, yes.
Yeah.
But what do you say about the idiots who fall for it, hook, line, and sinker?
Well, they're very good on doing the pro and the con for every argument. And if you agree with the pro, you're going to jump on board at that. If you agree with the con side of it, you're going to jump on board with that. And people don't have enough discernment to be able to tell the truth in all of the back and forth.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there. It just goes to show you that the what do you want to call it, the integrity of the people in this country to be hoodwinked that easy,
Yeah.
is unbelievable.
Because we're in information overload, and they can spin a narrative like so convincing that it's very hard to determine what is true and what's not true.
Well, there again, I'm going to go back to what I've said years and years ago. It all derived from the Q movement. They led us to believe that this shit show would be over soon.
Yeah.
And it's just kept going on like the fucking ever ready bunny.
Mm-hmm.
It's BS. They've shot themselves in the foot whoever came up with this, whoever started it, they didn't provide enough actual evidence of a lot of what they were presenting in the Q post, you know. And Q said, trust nothing, question everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got to do that with Q too. We just can't segment them out. You got to apply it to Q.
Right. You got to apply to everything in your life.
Yes. Yeah. But when the subject matter's Q, you got to apply it to that too.
Absolutely.
And about Mossad, these guys are the most protected out there ever. You've got that one entity in social media everywhere, that Evan Kate, who is a female but has a fake Evan Kate out there who's a black guy doing the same thing to people. You complain to a Mossad-driven social media platform like TikTok, they just shoot down your complaint because she is Mossad protected. And it's like amazing. 1,600 accounts.
Wow.
You can block them all, but she keeps showing back up. I mean, it's insanity. It's insanity. And they want us to believe that the white hats are in control. What are they in control of? Or when do they take control? Is it during the EBS, during that time period? Because it sure don't look like they're in control now. I don't care if they call it a movie or not. This level of deception on the American people is driving people crazy lately. I mean, I see it rampant.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
It's the information out there and that they allow. You cannot say white hats are in control. They're just not. I beg to differ. And then you got that guy down there in fucking Alabama. You know, the only thing he talks about is laws and orders. He brings nothing to the table, any new. But then you've seen him in 2020. He didn't know anything about NESARA. But yet you find him on these podcasts talking about NESARA like he knows about it.
Well,
it's like I have a real problem with that.
A lot of people talk about NESARA like they know it.
Well, no problem with it. Mm-hmm. If you want part of it, if you don't know it in depth like I do, shut the fuck up. Don't talk about it. He just wants clicks because he's been put into this social media realm of an importance role. I don't see him as important. I mean, you can only talk about laws and order so much. You know, it's ridiculous. But that Evan Kate is unbelievable.
I'm
I mean,
familiar with
must protect it.
All right. So what else do you have on there?
I want to talk about two more things.
Okay.
The Trump meme, or the meme that came out where JFK Jr. is laying down and Trump's just dressed up like Jesus and laying hands on JFK. A lot of people, and even the Christians, missed the boat on that one, like they missed the boat on a lot of things. That was not slamming or mocking Jesus. That was something biblical. If you read your Bibles, it says, be Christ-like. What they were actually doing is they were laying the foundation that JFK Jr. did not die in that fake 99 plane crash. He's about to reappear. That's what that meme was about. And all these people go rampant across social media, and they're all pissed off about a meme. And they miss the whole meaning of the meme. It's like, Lord have mercy. We these people are going to need mental hospitals too, because they just don't get it.
Well, they thought it was blasphemy that he was pretending that he was Jesus.
Oh, see, that's part of this. People wearing their stupid, selfish emotions on their sleeve. They
Mhm.
need to grow the fuck up and get over it. You miss the whole meaning of that meme.
Right.
And then you got Melania Trump coming out there and making that little speech. The people are getting that wrong too.
You mean about Epstein, that when she spoke? Okay.
What I think it is. If I'm wrong, those in the powers that be want to talk to me about it, feel free. But this is what I believe. She came out and did that because she knows that that person who got shipped out of this country has all the goods on her, that her adult life with 45 has been a facade, fake. There's way too many pictures out there of them together. I mean, I could go on and on and on about all these pictures, but those will say, "Oh, those are digital makeups. They were doctored." Da 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 da. She wouldn't have come out and addressed that issue if she wasn't trying to get ahead of the story and cover her ass. That's what I believe. Um, and who knows about the Trump in a mask early on when they were dating? Which Trump in a mask was that? Because we know it wasn't the real DJT.
Well,
We go.
you had shared with me, I don't know if I can even say this, that one picture you shared with me. Can we talk about that or no? So you had shared with me a picture of, it was a newspaper article of Donald J. Trump and Ivanka. And it looks like Ivanka, but it does not at all look like DJT. It also almost looks like a Alfred Hitchcock with Ivanka. And they were at some fundraiser in New York, and then lo and behold, we have this Playboy young Donald Trump showing up on the scene. So if you want to talk about that.
So that's all part of this smoke and mirrors bullshit that we were going through in this 18 years of shit show. You know, people try to deceive, and they're trying to get you to think of a certain narrative that's being played out, and they give you some truth, and then they also give you some deception at the same time.
Right.
Now, a lot has to do with this changing of identity. I've got pictures of what's her name, the young Trump when she was a teenager.
Oh, Ivanka.
Yeah, Ivanka, where she looks totally different. I mean, totally different.
Mhm.
And then I have a picture of someone who stepped in and took over her identity that looked more like her now.
Well, they said she had a lot of plastic surgery.
Nor deny that. I have no clue on that, other than what's talked about out there. But the point I'm getting at is they've done all these switching of identities, so you can't really nail down the truth.
Right.
And that's why this whole shit show has done more damage to people, because they get them believing a certain way, because the narrative way that they want people to think, and it's just messing with people's heads left and right.
Well, there's even the guy Quigley out there who claims he is the real John F. Kennedy Jr. and that he was taken out of the picture and then they replaced him with this one that we know as John F. Kennedy Jr. So it gets so confusing.
Well, quickly, I busted him in private DMs 5 years ago. He told me that he was the fourth person in the plane uh, when it went down, and he's the only one who survived. And I said, dude, there weren't four people on their plane in that plane when it took off. There was one, a Navy pilot who took that plane up in the air. They had switched out the altitude detonation trigger for that bomb, or C4, whatever it was, and he put it on a switch. So when he jumped out of that plane, he was on he was out over the water, da 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 da. He was on a parachute. On his way down, he hit the trigger. The passenger door blew apart, and it fell into the water. And I said, "There's no way you were on that plane." And I told him why I was serious about he was not on that plane. I gave him some private information to let him know that I'm calling his bullshit, and I did. And he got so pissed off at me in that conversation in direct message that he just shut it off and blocked me. It's like, oh no, this guy knows too much. I can't let this go out there. He probably screenshot this whole conversation and is going to put it out on social media.
Wow.
So, yeah, no, Quigley. I claim Quigley is a CIA plant. Mm-hmm. There's no way he would wait till 2020 to come back out and start saying he's JFK Jr., the real one.
Right.
No. But I'm kind of pissed off at JFK Jr. because last weekend they gave us little tidbits of him gonna make his appearance, and he hasn't made it yet. He's that pilot in that movie about his story, clear as day pictures during the daylight of him reaching out his hand, shaking the actor JFK Jr. as they come up to the plane. That's JFK Jr. There's no two ways about it. We've waited 27 years, John, for your reappearance to public. Will you get back here, sir, and save this country? My God, bring Patton Jr. with you. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't want to wait any longer for JFK Jr. to come back out. And it ain't going to be Quigley. Right. For all the sheep dip fools thinking that that's JFK Jr., you're just falling for more bullshit.
And that's why it gets so confusing when you have people out there that talk a really good talk and they can be very convincing. There's the other gentleman, I can't think of his name, that says he's the real King of England. And yeah, I can't think of his name. But, these people are very convincing, and it's it's so hard to see the truth.
Now that guy started out 4 years ago when he came onto the social media scene, and he branded himself as John Clooney, mm-hmm. trying to come across like he's JFK Jr. It's like, Lord have mercy. I talked about that in one of my previous shows where there's mugshots of him where he stole identity of some British military guy to be where he's at now. He's a fraud. He's one out there saying, well, if you say anything, well, bring a body bag. Mm-hmm. Body bag. It's like the insanity of this bullshit. The shit show needs to fucking end. Quit kicking the can down the road, and anybody who disrupts The RV coming out to the public needs to be put in front of a concrete wall and shot in the head. Point blank. I came out with the solution to all this chem plane problems. When that plane lands, you shoot the whole crew in the head. I don't care if they're military, industrial, complex contractors or not. Shoot them in the head. Those planes will not go up anymore. If word gets around, you're going to die when you land. You know, that's not being a pussyfooter. That's coming up with a solution to a problem. You know, as much crap as they're dumping on us from the sky, we're all going to be needing med beds to clean out our systems.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know, it's sad.
Yeah. I mean, that's the sky. Then we have the water, our food, the air. I mean, it's just endless. You know, our clothing, chemicals in, you know, all the things to clean the house and the bedding and everything is just contaminated with toxic things.
Yeah, I know. And I want to bring up this. Mike S., I've gone to your page, Bubba. I've looked at it. You have got some deep psychological problems. For you to say what you do in the comments and your page is riddled with the bullshit you have on it, boy, you are woke. You are woke. And those powers that be behind the scenes who trying to roll out RV and Nesra, they better take your page into consideration, brother, because you don't deserve a dime. Have the audacity to jump down my throat saying stupid shit. You have no clue what I've done in my career for this country. And I want to make a retraction. Yep, Mr. X is going to make a retraction.
Hey.
Couple shows back, I told you about a gal who was filming dirty cops doing stupid shit. Well, I've looked into that gal. You talk about a psychotic nutcase. She is in bed with all these, quote, dirty cops that she's filming doing shit with. She is a nutcase. Her intentions were good, but she takes it way past the line. She wants suicide by cop, I tell you. But that's my retraction. Her whole point of what she's doing was good, but she's taken a whole nother direction and just destroyed it.
Wow.
And you know, and I want to give a shout out again to Mr. Jason Q. If he happens to be listening to this show, brother, you've done the truther community a great justice by all the research you've done and digging you've done throughout your 10-year career, starting on Facebook in 2015. I thank you immensely for what you brought to the table as far as information, because there is no better digger into information than Jason Q. I thank you, sir, for what you've done.
All right. What else do you have on there? Or did you cover everything?
No, I got to touch on it again. I'm tired of fucking talking about it. Where are these med beds? You got all these thousands of people all over the place saying, "Oh, they're out. Oh, they're out. They're in certain military places." Da, 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 da. Well, they're not out to the public. No one's getting invited to these things.
No.
You know, stop kicking the can down the fucking road. Let's go. People need to heal in this.
They do.
In this country. Do you not get it? You know, all the shit they dump on us from the air, all the poisons they put in our food, all the poisons they put in our medicine. You know, what is your agenda? You know, that you say the military. Which military? Our deep state military? They're behind it? Let's go. I'm tired of turning on social media and seeing all these military guys saying, "Yeah, well, I've been through a med bed." Blah, blah, blah. Well, good for you. Good for you. What about the public? They need to be out.
Right.
You know, and you shouldn't have to look under a fucking rock to find a med bed. people should know where to go exactly to go get treated and get healed internally and externally if they have to go into one of those med beds. You know, we're told there's 3 out there.
Yeah.
Now they've added 3 more, so there's 6. You know, the bullshit never stops. You know, I swear, I really don't think only black hats need to be put up in front of a concrete wall when this shit's over. I really don't. Because if the level of deception or psyop is done by a quote white hat on the American people, you guys need to be held responsible. This is bullshit. This thing has to end.
You know
in
what?
a short time,
Go ahead.
go ahead.
Nope, finish.
No,
I was
in a
gonna.
short time I've been on social media, I've noticed that there's still people not talking about the shit show. How many fucking times do I gotta bring it up? You people are afraid to fucking say anything. Get loud. It's not too late to get loud. If they see a majority of people out there pissed off, getting verbal about the shit show still going on, then they'll respond.
I was going to say the group that I really like a lot are the Red Hats because they go in, they take action. They don't sit by the sidelines. You see them go in, they do their whatever maneuver is, they're in, they're out, it's done. There's no, as you say, pussyfooting around. It's taken care of.
Opposite of what this gene decode dude talks about. He said, no, we can't aggressively and be like the bad guys. It's a war, Gene. You don't pussyfoot around and ask these people not to be a bad guy. You go set a precedent, and that's drop the hammer. Drop the hammer on these people, then it will stop.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't pussyfoot around. Well, we can't like the bad guys. Oh, sure we can. That's what a war is. No one ever won a war by pussyfooting around and asking the other side, oh, will you please stop? Please stop killing us. Shit. This thing has to end. Juan O'Sabin needs to go change all the oil in all his hot rods in his garage. They've been sitting there too many years. You know, let's go.
You know what I was told by somebody also very involved in this movement, because I would openly voice, why don't they just go in and just, be done with all of this once and for all? Why does it have to be so slow and painful? And he would tell me in their meetings that it is, you don't want to do what the other side is doing. We do no harm, is what they always would say in their meetings. And I said, but they're doing harm to us. And his answer was, and I would say, we need to just go in and just wipe it out once and for all. And they were like, nope, we're not going to be like them. We have to do no harm. And that was their motto. And that's why this has taken so long.
Well, that logic has all those guys' heads up their ass.
Mm-hmm.
That's about the stupidest thing I've heard. You don't win with that logic. You go set a precedent, dadgummit. You know, if you look at the group that are in that meeting, whatever he's involved with, I guarantee you probably find some Israeli, some Mossad, some CIA that are undercover, wanting to back off everything so people don't get as pissed off. It's really insane having to go through this shit for now 18 years.
Yep. Well, that was their thinking at the higher ups. And that's why this has taken so long.
I would like to find out a little bit more about the higher ups. Because if I was in that meeting, I'd take my fist and slam it on the table until I broke my hand. This shit has to stop. You guys need to wake the fuck up. We need to start bringing the heavy ammo out on this. Do no harm. Jeez, oh Pete, what a bunch of pussyfooters. That's why this is why I question the leadership of everything.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. What else do you have?
Please overturn the tables like Jesus did in the temple.
Exactly.
Somebody in that fucking group grow a pair and overturn a table, or put some people up against the wall and give them wall-to-wall counseling. Jesus. Leadership. How in the fuck did they get a leadership role with that stupid logic? Do no harm. They're probably a Freemason. Probably a Freemason said that. And nobody knows that they're a Freemason. Stupid, idiotic logic. Anyway.
So did we cover everything, or you have more that you want to share?
No, I covered it all. I covered it all. You people have to realize that this country has been infiltrated by Israel and the Mossad. Everywhere you look, both those entities have this country held hostage, and they have for many years. Get it through your thick heads. Israel is not our friend. We've been fed a bunch of BS by deep state actors that we have to support Israel. We don't have to support Israel. The church-going folks got it all wrong about Israel. And they need to wake up too, because they're holding this thing back too, because they refuse to wake up about the infiltration of Israel in a negative way on this country. Jason Q is right. Listen to his shows. Man, he's Israel this, Israel that, Jew this, Jew that. He's right. He's done more research than anybody on the subject.
Another one we have been heavily infiltrated from are Muslims. And I was just talking to somebody today, and they're like, we are going to see Sharia law here in the United States. And I've seen that they're already trying to push it in parts of Dearborn, Michigan and Texas. And people need to stand up and say no. And with the mayor in New York City, it's going to only be a matter of time before they start trying to push Sharia law there.
Well, you know what the big test for that was way back when, I can't remember what year it was that Jade Helm crap. That was a test on the Texas people.
Mm.
Do we have real cowboys in Texas, or we got guys only wearing square-toed cowboy boots that act like they're a bunch of femmes? What do we have in Texas? So that was the battleground for Jade Helm.
Wow.
Are we going to push this Muslim crap in the state of Texas, where they want you to think that all the men there are badasses, and carry guns in the back of their pickup truck windows, and they're not going to allow any of that to happen? Well, if you ask me, Texas failed in the Jade Helm test, whatever year that happened.
Wow. Well, everybody, you have heard it from Mr. X. It's time to get loud. It's time to not sit back and just allow our country to be overrun and overtaken. And it's time to stand up and say no, because it's up to us, we the people, not just sit back and say, Q said trust the plan, and we don't do anything. You have to take action. We have to be very vocal in moving forward for what we do want. Because if you don't express what you want, they will just shove down your throat what they want.
That is true.
Mm-hmm.
Take my approach. Be an equal opportunity critic of everything, because nothing has made sense in the last 18 years, especially the last 10 years. We've been sold a bunch of psychotic BS by the deep state. The shit show's still going. This military psyops bullshit. If our quote white hat military is involved in this psyop, they all need to be put in front of a concrete fucking wall because they're committing war crimes against the American people. I said it before, and some of you mocked what I said, but think about it.
All right, Mr. X, it's always a breath of fresh air having you on. So thank you for your time, and we will have you back again.
Thank you, Holly. Enjoyed it.
Thank you. Bye bye.